My name is Sabrina Hill. I am a filmmaker, writer, paralegal, government analyst, and justice advocate. In December 2023, I found myself in a situation I never expected. While filming in a public space, documenting the struggles of the unhoused in our community, I was suddenly approached and detained by several Niagara Regional police officers. I wasn't breaking any law. I wasn't interfering with anyone. I was simply there with my camera doing the work I have dedicated my life to, telling stories that matter. But instead of respect, I was surrounded by 3 constables and a sergeant. And then came the demand. They insisted I give them my dead name, a name I legally changed years ago, the name that no longer belongs to me. There are no bylaws in the city of St. Catharines or the Niagara Region that prohibit filming on public property for non-commercial, journalistic, or artistic purposes. Yet, I was detained, told to leave, issued a trespass notice, and then charged with fail to leave, a charge the prosecutor later withdrew because it had no legal foundation. The police had no lawful reason to demand my name, let alone my dead name, but they did it anyway. Demanding my dead name was an act of violence. When Constable Ashley Del Duca demanded my dead name, it wasn't about safety or procedure. It was about power. It was the denial of an identity, a public act of humiliation meant to put me back in my place. This wasn't my first experience with transphobia from the Niagara Regional Police. In 2029, a sergeant misgendered me twice, even while holding my ID that clearly states I am female. And last year, in 2024, I discovered that a police report listed me as male despite every piece of legal identification confirming otherwise. This isn't one bad officer. It's a pattern. A culture that either does not understand or does not care about trans people's rights or dignity. They, the Niagara Regional Police, talk about training and equity policies. But what's written on paper means nothing if it isn't practiced with integrity, insistency, or consistency. I have filed a human rights complaint against the Constable Ashley Del Duca and the Niagara Regional Police Service Board. Not because I want attention, but because I want change. Because what happened to me is not only wrong, it's dangerous. Dangerous for trans women. Dangerous for trans youth. Dangerous for anyone in Niagara who has been made to feel unsafe or unseen by law enforcement. And I am doing this alone. The officer who harmed me has a publicly funded legal team, an army including in-house counsel and outside retained counsel at one of Niagara's most esteemed firms. I have no legal aid, no institutional support, no public funding. Nothing but my own voice, my documentation, and my conviction. A trans person can take the colossal step of coming out or socially transitioning, risking family, belonging, and safety. We can endure the slow, expensive, deeply personal process of a legal transition, just to see our chosen name and gender reflected in government records. We can spend years in doctors' offices and surgeries to bring our outer selves into harmony with who we've always been inside. All of that, the courage, the resilience, the painstaking work of becoming, can all be shattered in an instant. One careless word, one act of contempt, one moment of indifference from someone wearing a badge. What takes a lifetime to build can be undone in a moment. After everything the trans community has fought for and won in Canada, the Niagara Regional Police still fail to meet us with the most basic human qualities: understanding, compassion, empathy. Instead of Chief Bill 40, his command staff, and the supervisors who endorsed Del Duca's conduct have chosen to normalize cruelty as policy. To have a sergeant insist on calling me he, to have Del Duca demand my dead name, to have reports filed that erase my gender and identity, these are not accidents. These are deliberate acts of dehumanization repeated until they become routine. I've already suffered emotional, legal, and professional harm from this ordeal. But I know I'm not the only one. If this is how the police treat a trans woman with a camera and a platform, imagine how they treat someone with fewer resources, less visibility, or no legal knowledge. This isn't just my case. It's a test of whether Ontario's institutions truly believe that trans rights are human rights. This isn't just disrespect. It's the deliberate stripping away of dignity. It tells every trans person in Niagara that no matter how far we've come, the police can still take it away from us without remorse, without accountability, and without shame. But I am still here, still filming, still speaking, because silence only serves those who abuse power. And I believe that by standing together, by demanding accountability, and by refusing to be erased, we can ensure that no one else's lifetime is undone in a moment. I can't undo what happened to me, but I can make sure it doesn't happen to someone else. So I'm asking all of you, do more than just listen. Don't stay silent. Every resident in this city is a stakeholder in our police service. The Niagara Regional Police and the Regional Municipality of Niagara believe that the police are free from oversight and accountability. I believe otherwise. All of us should rightfully demand transparency and accountability when residents are harmed. To ensure that trans rights and human dignity are not negotiable conditions of public service. I can't do this alone. I need this community, our community, to stand with me, to show up for trans people when we are targeted, to call out discrimination when you witness it. So again, I'm asking you, don't stay silent.